Hello, welcome once again to another video. Now, obviously, every profession has its tools. This is an understatement, right? If you want to become a mechanic, here's the tools, all the tools. Look at this, unbelievable. Over $20,000 worth. This is from Snap-on. But anyway, see all these snap rings, pliers, and all these different pullers, and all these different deep sockets, and wrenches, and ratchets, and breaker bars, and all these things. So that's part of the profession, part of the trade. You have to invest money into it to make money. And when new things come out, you need new equipment. But anyway, I'm going over something that I made a video that was pretty popular. It's amazing to when you see my views, how low they are. It's amazing, but the watch time, the last 2 months I had almost 100,000 minutes of watch time, but there was a video that has, like, one of the popular ones is 36,000 views. Believe it or not, I'm shocked myself. But anyway, there was one about the VIN number. I went through it, and this is just a quick, as you can see over here, description of it, what each one stands for. Number one is this one. Do you see this group 1FAP? This is the world manufacturer. The next one is restraint system on 2. So each one has a purpose. Each one, engine type is 5 over here. 5, the engine type over here. Where can you find it? The VIN is visible through the driver's side of the windshield. Right here. Obviously on your registration, obviously on your insurance, all over, right? It's like a social security number of the vehicle. However, why do I bring this anyway? Because let's say you want to know your engine. Let's say you're buying a used car, and the seller tells you, "Oh yeah, it's the original engine. It's the original engine, right?" Well, obviously, if you're gonna put it up and you're gonna look at the engine, the serial number, and all that, you're gonna match it with the VIN number. It has to match. If it's not the original one, it won't match this number. So you know you're being taken for a ride, so to say, right? That's why I bring it to your attention. If you want the original one, go by this, look at the serial number, look at this number, the VIN numbers. So anyway, quick going into that one. Let's go into something a little more different. As we see over here, right over here. Now we're going to go over using the right oil. How do you know using the right oil? Years ago, we had one 10W, 5W, whatever it is. Now we have one with 2 of them. And 2 ratings. To break it down, to try to make it to simple terms. You always see 5W, whatever, 10W, 20 or 30, whatever it is. The W stands for the winter grade. The viscosity means the ability of the oil to flow. Now, as you see over here, the W means at 0. It was tested at 0 degrees. What do I mean by 0 degrees? It's viscosity, the ability to flow. It was tested at 0 degrees, just like another thing called cold cranking amps. The battery was tested at 0 degrees, cold cranking amps. Make sure it didn't go below 7.2 volts. Same idea over here. This was tested at 0 degrees. At the other one that you see the second number, that's at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going from one extreme, very cold, to very hot. So therefore the viscosity changes. We're going from, let's say, now we use 5W, whatever it is. The best thing is go to your manual, whatever your manufacturer recommended, that's what you use. That's what you use. So, now, hot oil and cold oil. Now, which one flows faster, you think? Hot oil or colder oil? Hot oil flows faster. Now, in the lower the grade, let's say you have 5W or 0W, the thicker it is. The thicker the oil will be. So, in the hotter it is, the thinner it will be. Is that what I said? The thinner it will be. So if you're going from 10W to 5W, the thinner it will be. If you're going from 5W to 0W, the thinner it will be. And in the winter, you need that. In very cold climates, they have a problem with the oil. Oil doesn't circulate because the pickup screen cannot pick up that oil that is so thick from the cold. So those type of climates, you could go to a thinner grade, winter grade, bring it down. If it's 5W, go to 0W, try synthetic. But that's the problem. In the summer, you go up in the grade. So this oil can act like a winter at 0 degrees, and it can act like the summer at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So therefore, this is called the winter grade. Again, winter, W is winter grade. And the other one is for the summer. Hot temperatures, cold temperatures, hot temperatures. Obviously, it'll be thicker at hotter temperatures. It'll be thinner at winter as it goes down. Right? You ever see that differential? That's thick 80W. So anyway, these are called multi-viscosity. As you see, they have two grades in them. The one that's appropriate for you is the one appropriate for your vehicle. Right? So, taking a look at the chart in Fahrenheit. You see this in Fahrenheit? Wherever you're located. Look at this at minus 20. Okay? We're at minus 20 degrees. So, let's say we're at 32. 32 will use this type. Right? Over here. 5W40. As we go down in temperature, 5W40, so this is 30. As we go down, we go 5W20. All right? Now, we're going back up. Guess what? Guess what? The second number increases. 30, 40, 50. The second number increases as you go up in temperature. 60, 80, 100. The temperature goes up. You might say, okay, instead of 30, I'll use a 40 or 50. Whatever, again, whatever the manufacturer recommends. If you're going down colder, this one will go down. Second one will go down. But you might also have to bring the winter grade sometimes also. Like I said, depending on the cold climate also, you might have to bring it down if you have problem with the circulation of your oil. You want a thinner oil. Again, usually we use 5W20, 5W30 in these climates. And therefore, we're satisfying both conditions for the winter. And we're satisfying both conditions for the summer. So that's basically what it is. So let's say if it's 30, if it's a 30 weight oil, it's heavier, and it flows much slower than a 20, than a 10. So this is much thicker, much heavier. It'll flow much slower. In the summer it's okay. In the winter we want to try to get it as quick as it can. To the galleries, to the engine, to the bearings as quick as we can, so we get a thinner one. I hope this was useful to you. Like I said, please use whatever your manufacturer suggests. Engineers know they did it. But if you're having problems, sometimes you burn oil. Right? You see you're losing quartz. Either you have a leak, obviously, or you're burning it. So then you have to add, sometimes you can add an oil stabilizer and all that to thicken it up. It depends on the mileage. Usually at high mileage you have these problems. But otherwise, if Ford says FW20 or GM or whatever, this is what the engineer said for this one, fine. Obviously over years, the engine is not the same shape like it was when you just took it out of the dealership. Obviously, the bearings are not the same, and the pistons are not the same. Everything obviously has changed, obviously. But if you see the oil is going down, you're losing oil. Like I said, you're burning it, or you're losing it somewhere, or there's a leak somewhere. Okay. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. Let's go to another type over here. As I just said before, for the heating, I went through it through a video. We went through mechanical fans. We were talking about the other video. The fan was right here. The engine was going this way, longitudinal. It was going this way. And the fan was connected to a shaft right to the water pump, turning it. Remember that? There was one fan. Look at this. By this, what can you tell? This is an electrical fan. Look at now the engine. The engine is facing this way. Look at all the pulleys and look at the belts. It's going this way. The alternator, compressor, everything is facing this way. The transverse, it's called. Therefore, there's no connection from the water pump, which is here, to the radiator. We have to have electrical fans. That's where this comes in. There's a connector over here. A little hard to see, but anyway. So now, but the flow still doesn't change from the water pump. See the yellow, the water pump going through the upper radiator hose, right? Coming right back here to the bottom one. Well, actually, the bottom one it goes and it's being circulated back here like this. Like this is being circulated like this over and over and over again, just to get that heat out of the engine through the radiator. So this is the difference between electrical and this is the difference between the mechanical ones. You open up that hood, you see that the engine is facing this way, you know you have electrical one. And you'll see an electrical connector. If you see one is for the condenser, one is for the radiator, whatever. But anyway, when you see the engine going this way, like if you have rear-wheel drive, SUVs, trucks, whatever, obviously engines going this way, you'll see the mechanical shaft, mechanical fan connected to it. And there's no room. Usually this has more room over here. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please give me some likes if you can. If you find these type of videos that they are really, really helping you and you're really getting more of an idea how the systems work, I think it is. I'm getting more views, I'm getting more likes. I think people are starting to really understand what I've been talking about. Like I said, certain things, again, to press the point, you cannot go under the hood and see this. It is just, first of all, it's hard to film it. Number two, you have to have the engine running, and you can't do that, obviously, see all this. Has to be taught. Professionally, has to be taught by teaching it, has to be taught by either a video or taught by a textbook. 25 years ago, this is how I learned. 25 years ago, there was no Scotty Kilmer, there was no YouTube. This is what I was left with. And I had to use my brain to try to figure out how it worked. Using the same textbook that I used 25 years ago, and look how appropriate it is. The only thing different is computers control it. Thanks, again, automotive technology, but you still need training. You still need training. Like I said, if I take a medical textbook, I want to become a doctor, I cannot learn it on my own from a textbook. I still have to go to a professional training or school, and then the textbook will help me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please give me likes. I need about 2,000 more minutes, and hopefully I'll hit it. I hope. But thanks to your support.